Surrender doesn't mean you like what's happening. It doesn't mean that you spiritually are bypassing things. It means you stop arguing with reality long enough to hear what it's offering you. Welcome to Collective Guidance. I'm your host, Charla Goodnight. Today, we're going to slow things down a little because alignment doesn't live in urgency. It lives in allowing. And this episode is about alignment. But not alignment as a destination, not alignment as something you earn, and not alignment as something reserved for people who have it all figured out. I want you to know alignment is your natural state of being. And if you've been feeling off, disconnected, impatient, restless, heavy, or tired in a way that sleep doesn't fix, that doesn't mean something is wrong with you. It means your focus has simply drifted from who you really are. And I want to start by saying this gently. The way Abraham Hicks from Law of Attraction, or Jerry and Esther Hicks would say it, there is nothing correct. There's nothing to heal before you are worthy. There is nothing to become before you are allowed to feel good. Alignment is not self-improvement. Alignment is self-remembering. This episode right here is inspired by my conversation I had with Laura Lee Lotto, whose work weaves astrology, intuition, wellness, and lived experience. I mean, she has 5 kids, I think, lived experience in a way that brings alignment out of the clouds and into the daily life. If you haven't listened to that episode, I highly recommend it. She was so great. So as you listen, I invite you not to try to understand everything, but just notice what feels like relief. Just notice where your body softens. That's alignment happening in real time. When your body softens, that's your body being like, I get it. One of the most misunderstood things about alignment is the idea you have to do something to get there. But alignment doesn't come from effort. Alignment comes from attention. Abraham teaches that alignment is simply when your focus matches your inner being. When you are in alignment, your focus matches your soul self. When you're focused in the direction of your truth, you feel ease, openness, curiosity. I love curiosity, clarity, a sense of okayness, even if nothing has changed yet. And when your focus drifts towards fear, lack, comparison, or control, you feel tension, frustration, urgency, doubt, heaviness in your chest or your gut, not because you're failing, but because your emotions are guidance. Hear that. Because your emotions are guidance. They're letting you know whether you're looking in the same direction as source or not. Okay? Looking in the same direction as source or not. And what I mean about that is source looks in the direction of love. If you're looking outside of love and everything's okay, then you're going to feel it in your body. Laura shared this in such a grounded way through astrology because astrology at its core is simply a language of frequency. I'm an astrologer. I know all about it. I totally get it. I hope I'm able to explain this to you where you can get it. I want you to know your chart doesn't tell you who to be. It reminds you who you are already. Your chart is not a prediction of who you're supposed to be. It's here to remind you of who you are already. And misalignment isn't punishment, it's feedback. So if you've been asking what's wrong with me or why can't I just get it together, try this instead. Where has my focus been? Because alignment doesn't require a personality transplant. It requires a focused shift. Okay. Like there is nothing wrong with you. You just need to turn your focus to something else. One of the most powerful metaphors Laura shared was this: your birth chart is divine sheet music. And I want you to really feel this. Imagine a piece of music written specifically for you, your rhythm, your tempo, your emotional range, your natural way of expressing energy. Now, imagine spending your whole life trying to play someone else's music and someone else's song. It's just not going to work. That's what misalignment feels like. You're playing someone else's song. And this is where Abraham and astrology meet beautifully. When you feel bad, you're off frequency, not because you're wrong, but because you're trying to vibrate somewhere you were never meant to stay or be. And so how you feel is a frequency, and you're out of alignment because you're vibrating at a frequency that you're not supposed to be at. Laura talked about how she is mostly air energy, fast moving, mental, idea oriented, and she gave birth to a child who is mostly earth energy, steady, calm, grounded, and movable. She described trying to blow air at a mountain, thinking that it was going to move, and the mountain just stood there. It didn't go anywhere. And this is such a perfect metaphor for alignment, because alignment is not about forcing movement. It's about understanding the nature of the energy you're working with. How many times in your life have you tried to speed up something that needed time? Tried to intellectualize something that needed to be felt, tried to soften something that needed to be structured, or you tried to control something that needed you to surrender. I mean, everyone's tried to control something where really you just need to surrender. When you understand this, and when you really understand the frequency, your resistance will drop, and relief is a signal you're back into alignment. I really admire Abraham teachings so much. And Abraham teaches that alignment doesn't begin with joy. It begins with relief. And this is so important for women. It's so important for women who feel pressured to stay positive. You don't have to do that. Relief is a doorway. And relief sounds like, I don't have to figure this out today. I can pause. I can breathe. I can stop pushing. I can be where I am. And that is okay. Laura shared how her biggest expansions didn't come from hustle, but from surrender. When we surrender to what the universe wants to us, we will receive downloads for what the universe really wants for us. And that's what happened to Laura. After she surrendered, she received a full download for a year-long program while cutting an apple tree in the dead winter. The vision came clearly, but the manifestation unfolded Slowly, you have to surrender. And here's the integration point. A download is not a demand. It's kind of like this podcast. I got a download for this podcast. It wasn't a demand. It's an invitation. Alignment doesn't rush. I had to get in full alignment, full energetic frequency with this project to bring it forward. Alignment trusts timing. When you try to force clarity before alignment, you create resistance. Whatever you resist will persist. And when you try and force something, you're resisting and it's going to persist, giving you that which you do not desire. When you allow alignment first, action becomes obvious. It's not frantic. It's not pressured. It's literally obvious. You're like, okay, let me take this step. Now, let's talk about surrender, because surrender isn't like this giving up thing. This is where alignment stops being poetic and starts being real. Okay. It's not about this like giving up in life and no longer doing what you want. It's the point where alignment stops being this like poetic thing and starts really being real, and you really start embodying it. And Laura shared a deeply human story about being done, closing the door, and then life opening it anyway. And whether or not you relate to the specifics, the teaching is universal. Alignment is not always getting what you want. Sometimes it's releasing what you thought you needed. Abraham would say, you don't align by fixing circumstances. You align by softening resistance to them. Surrender doesn't mean you like what's happening. It doesn't mean that you spiritually are bypassing things. It means you stop arguing with reality long enough to hear what it's offering you. You just have to stop arguing with reality. Wave the white flag. And this is where people often misunderstand alignment. Alignment doesn't mean everything feels good all the time. It means you stop adding suffering on top of contrast. When resistance drops, energy frees up. And from that space, insights come. Timing reveals itself. Next steps appear. Solutions arrive without force. Not because you've earned them, but because you stopped blocking them. Hear that. When you stop blocking them, they will come forward. Laura spoke about not giving your power away to authority, to timelines, to expectations. And Abraham would say the same thing, but in different language. I hear Abraham's voice being like, your inner being is your only true authority. Trusting yourself doesn't mean never feeling fear. It means not letting fear override you and decide what's next. Alignment is internal authority, really connecting. It's when you stop asking, what should I do? And start asking, what feels like relief right now? Feel that. What feels like relief right now? Even the smallest shift matters. A slightly softer thought, a pause instead of a push, a breath inside of a reflection. Alignment builds momentum gently. It's not this forced outcome. And the more often you return to it, the easier life becomes. Not because it's perfect, but because you're no longer fighting yourself. You're no longer having that inner battle. You don't have to believe, you just have to allow. And that is what alignment is, allowing and being open to what your universe has for you. One of Laura's favorite lines is that astrology is too accurate to ignore. And here's the deeper truth. You don't have to believe in frequency for it to affect you. You don't have to believe in alignment for your emotions to guide you. Music plays whether you believe it or not. Seasons change whether you approve or not. Alignment works the same way. Curiosity is enough. Willingness is enough. Resistance softens when you stop demanding proof before allowing ease. You just have to allow ease, and you don't have to demand proof of anything. The spirit doesn't have to prove anything to you. Just allow everything to work for you. Spirit wants everything to work for you. And I want to leave you with a simple practice. One Laura shared that embodies alignment beautifully. Before something important, a decision, a conversation, a launch, a moment of uncertainty, take one deep breath and say, I am a clear channel of divine wisdom. I allow what is meant for me to flow with ease. I allow what is meant for me to flow with ease. Then let it go. Let alignment do the work you were never meant to do alone. Your angels are always supporting you. They want you to be in connection with them, to feel them. Alignment is about connecting to them and joy and remembrance of who you really are, remembering who you are. Alignment is not about becoming someone else. It's remembering who you already are. And when you stop resisting that remembrance, life is going to meet you there. Life is going to show you all the possibilities and all the things that you desire. You just have to release the resistance. Thank you so much for joining me on this episode of Collective Guidance. If you like this, please hit the like button, subscribe, leave a comment, share with a friend. I am sending you peace, love, joy, and full alignment. Thank you so much for being here.